the most expensive marble in the world, only used in the two biggest mosques on earth. You won't believe how much it costs or why it's so special. What if I told you there's a marble so rare, so pure, so expensive that only the richest governments in the world can afford it, and it's exclusively laid beneath the feet of millions of barefoot worshippers every year? Welcome to a story of luxury, spirituality, and engineering mastery. This is the most expensive marble used in the two biggest masjids in the world. The two giants, Masjid al-Haram and Masjid an-Nabawi. Before we reveal the name of the marble, let's set the scene. These aren't just mosques. They are architectural superstructures. They are monuments of faith. They are eternal sanctuaries visited by millions of Muslims every year. Masjid al-Haram in Mecca is the largest mosque on earth, housing the Kaaba. Masjid an-Nabawi in Medina is the second holiest site in Islam, resting place of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Both mosques have undergone multi-billion-dollar expansions, and only the best materials on the planet make it past the royal selection process. That includes the marble, but not just any marble. What's so special about this marble? Now, imagine this. A marble so white, it's like walking on solid moonlight. A stone that stays cold under 50 degrees Celsius Arabian sun. A surface that reflects light so well, it glows at night under floodlights. A finish so flawless, it has been compared to the skin of pearls. This isn't luxury. This is functional divinity. This is Thassos marble, from the tiny Greek island of Thassos in the Aegean Sea. Yes, that's right. A rare, ancient white marble from Greece is covering the most sacred site in Islam, and there's a reason. Thassos marble, the snow of the gods. Thassos marble isn't just white. It's pure white, the kind of white that reflects up to 98% of light. And here's where it gets crazy. Unlike most stone, which absorbs heat, Thassos marble repels it. On the scorching marble plaza of Masjid al-Haram, where temperatures regularly hit 50 degrees Celsius, 122 degrees Fahrenheit, the marble stays cool to the touch. Pilgrims walk barefoot on it for hours, and they don't burn their feet. That's not just a miracle. It's engineering, plus geology, plus divine foresight. But the magic doesn't stop there. Thassos marble is quarried in very limited quantities, processed under strict quality control, and costs between $400 and $600 per square meter, and that's before customization or shipping. For a mosque that spans over 356,000 square meters of floor space, that adds up to tens of millions of dollars worth of marble, laid down to serve faith, not fashion. Not just Thassos, the Marble Royalty Club. But wait, there's more. Thassos isn't the only elite marble gracing these mosques. These are palaces of God, and they use only the rarest stones known to man. Bianco Civic, North Macedonia. Another blinding white marble. used for walls and columns inside Masjid al-Haram. Slightly less bright than Thasos, but just as elegant. Rare, durable, and mined in limited quantities. Carrara marble, Italy. The same marble Michelangelo used to carve the David. Found in selected internal areas of both masjids. Known for its subtle gray veining and silky texture. Costs $100 to $300 per square meter. Rushita marble, Romania. Used in Masjid an-Nabawi. A soft white-gray tone. Durable, fine-grained, and symbol of European aristocracy. Imported in massive blocks, precision cut, and laid in the mosque's prayer halls. So yes, we're talking about European royalty of marble being imported into the spiritual heart of Islam. Why? Because these places are not just buildings. They are statements of divine hospitality, a message only the best for those who worship the Almighty. The royal selection. Who chooses these stones? Let's be clear, this isn't just about wealth. These materials are chosen by top engineers, royal appointed architects, Islamic scholars, climate control scientists. Every block of marble goes through heat resistance testing, weight durability testing, color and texture review, symbolic alignment with Islamic tradition. For example, the white marble reflects purity, peace, and divine light. In Islamic tradition, white is often associated with paradise, cleanliness, and the ihram garments worn during Hajj and Umrah. So when a pilgrim walks on this marble, they are not walking on just stone. They are walking on a spiritual interface between earth and the divine.
The cold secret beneath your feet. But here's the real kicker. The part that architects around the world study and still can't replicate. Underneath the Thasos marble in Masjid al-Haram lies an advanced underground cooling system, circulating chilled water or air beneath the surface. This combination of natural reflectivity of fossils and man-made cooling infrastructure makes the marble feel ice cold, even during the hottest desert afternoons. You won't find this anywhere else. Not in Dubai, not in Rome, not even in the Vatican. This technology, paired with divine inspiration, creates a thermal miracle that shocks every first-time visitor. The price of sacred luxury. What does it really cost? Now let's talk numbers, because this isn't your average tile job. The marble used in Masjid al-Haram and Masjid al-Nabawi is not just expensive, it's mind-blowingly expensive. Let's break it down. Raw material cost. Thasos marble from Greece is between $400 and $600 per square meter. Bianco Civic from North Macedonia is $300 to $500 per square meter. Carrara marble from Italy is $150 to $300 per square meter. And Rushita marble from Romania is $200 to $350 per square meter. But that's just the beginning. Shipping and handling. You don't ship this kind of marble in cardboard boxes. Blocks of marble weighing multiple tons are shipped across continents. From the Greek islands and European quarries, they're transported to the ports of Saudi Arabia. Then comes custom processing, cutting, cooling system integration, and precision laying by expert craftsmen, flown in specifically for this sacred task. Estimated logistics plus installation costs? Up to 2 times the price of the stone itself. So a $500 per square meter marble
could cost $1,000 to $1,200 per square meter fully installed with cooling infrastructure. Multiply that across hundreds of thousands of square meters, you're looking at hundreds of millions of dollars just in marble flooring. And guess what? These stones are not decorative. They're not for VIP lounges. They're not hidden behind velvet ropes. They are placed beneath the feet of millions for free, for everyone, for the sake of God. This is bigger than architecture. This is theology in stone. Why spend so much? Why import marble from Greece, Italy, and Romania for buildings in the Arabian Peninsula? Here's why. Because this isn't about status. It's about symbolism. In Islam, the mosque is not a church in the Western sense. It's not a place for a single weekly ritual. It's a home for the soul, a sanctuary, a community hub, a gateway to eternity. And the two holiest mosques? They're not just buildings. They're the spiritual capitals of a global faith, visited by every nation, every color, every class. So when you walk on that marble, you are stepping into a leveled playing field, a place where a billionaire and a farmer share the same ground. Only in Islam's sacred spaces do we find a paradox this powerful. The most expensive materials on earth used for the humblest of acts: prayer, repentance, prostration. A legacy spanning centuries. And this isn't a new phenomenon. Throughout Islamic history, Muslim rulers, from the Abbasids to the Ottomans to the modern Saudi kings, have invested in beautifying mosques as a form of ongoing charity, sadaqah jariyah. Their reasoning? If people are going to walk to the house of God, they should walk on something worthy. That's why you find pure gold doors on the Kaaba, chandeliers encrusted with Swarovski crystals in Medina, custom carpets woven in Belgium and Turkey, and of course, marble fit for royalty. But even among all these materials, Tassos marble stands apart because of its dual nature, its aesthetic perfection, and climate engineering genius. Is there a spiritual dimension to the cold stone? Here's where it gets mystical. Many scholars and pilgrims have noted that stepping onto the cold marble of Masjid al-Haram, especially during tawaf, circumlamping the Kaaba, produces a deep emotional reaction. People cry. People feel weightless. People speak of an otherworldly coolness, like stepping into another dimension. Some say it's just the engineering. Others say it's more. Could it be that even the stones of Mecca and Medina are submitting to the will of Allah? Could it be that the coldness beneath your feet is not just physical, but spiritual? That maybe, just maybe, these materials, this marble, has been chosen not just by man, but by divine decree. And here's the final shocker. The exact cooling system beneath the marble at Masjid al-Haram is classified. Yes, you heard that right. Only a small group of engineers and Saudi officials know the full scope of the design. All we know is, it involves custom subterranean channels, circulates cooled water or air beneath the marble, uses a non-visible venting system, has been upgraded multiple times in secret government-funded projects. This makes the Tassos marble flooring in Mecca the only installation of its kind in the entire world. No palace, no resort, no Vatican building, no billionaire's mansion has the technology or spiritual purpose to match what lies beneath your feet in the Haramain.
Who protects the marble? Not just guards, guardians of the sacred. You might think the floors of the holy mosques are just cleaned like any high-end hotel lobby. Think again. The marble of Masjid al-Haram and Masjid an-Nabawi is under constant surveillance, maintenance, and sacred regulation, because this isn't just architecture, it's worship infrastructure. Here's how it's protected. 1. Specialized marble maintenance teams, trained by European stone engineers and local Islamic institutions, work exclusively on the two mosques, no freelancing, no external contracts. Use custom chemical-free cleaning solutions to avoid staining or damaging the pristine white marble. 2. Restricted access for maintenance. Cleaning is scheduled minute by minute to avoid disturbing prayer and pilgrim movement. Certain zones, like the area around the Kaaba, require religious clearance to work in. Workers are trained in both technical care and spiritual etiquette. You're not just cleaning marble, you're preserving the path of prophets. What happens when a marble slab cracks or wears? Even the best stone isn't eternal under 10 million feet a year. When a marble slab cracks, chips, gets discolored, it's immediately flagged by a digital monitoring system connected to surveillance and smart sensors installed beneath the marble. Here's what happens next. Step-by-step replacement protocol. The damaged slab is gently removed using non-vibration precision lifting tools, so the surrounding marble and underground cooling system aren't disturbed. A matching slab from the original quarry batch is installed. Yes, they store backup slabs from the same original quarry shipments to ensure color and veining match. The slab is leveled, polished, and seamlessly reintegrated. The area is reopened for prayer within hours, sometimes overnight. Let that sink in. Even replacing a single tile in the haram is treated like a surgical operation, with religious, aesthetic, and engineering precision. Why no other country has copied this, even if they could afford it? You'd think with all the money in the world, some oil-rich nation or luxury developer would try to replicate this divine floor system. But they don't. And here's why. 1. The material alone isn't enough. Buying Thasos marble is one thing. Installing it at this scale, in this heat, with this cooling, and maintaining its spiritual aura is another. 2. The underground cooling system is a closely guarded secret. Without the custom subfloor cooling system, the marble would burn feet in desert conditions. And that system is custom designed, nationally protected, never disclosed to the public. There are no blueprints online, no public documentation, no academic case studies, only speculation and whispers in architectural circles. 3. The sanctity can't be engineered. Even if you had the marble, the money, the tech, you still wouldn't have the Kaaba. You wouldn't have Rauda. You wouldn't have millions praying in unison, bringing a spiritual charge that no lab or tech firm could create. The holiness of the Haramain elevates the stone, not the other way around. The warehouse no one talks about, the marble reserve vaults. Yes, they exist. Located in secure, undisclosed areas near the holy mosques are what insiders call the marble vaults, climate-controlled warehouses containing reserve slabs of Thasos, Bianco Sivak, Roshita, etc., all sourced from the same original shipments, stored for decades ahead so that future maintenance always matches the current look. Why? Because these mosques are planned 100+ years ahead. Every detail is anticipated. Even future wear is accounted for. A statement of power or a manifestation of faith. Let's address the elephant in the room. Is this level of luxury in religious buildings really necessary? It's a question many ask until they see it for themselves. Because it's not about worldly show-off. It's about serving the world's worshippers with the highest honor. These marbles keep you cool in unbearable heat, resist time, wear, and war, shine like celestial light in the middle of a desert, carry the steps, tears and prayers of millions daily. And most importantly, they tell the world that in Islam, every soul matters, every prayer matters, and every step towards God should be met with the absolute best the earth has to offer. Even the stones submit. Some say that during tawaf, you can feel the marble vibrate ever so slightly, like it's alive. A breath, a hum, a pulse beneath your feet. Is it the crowd, the cooling system, or is it something deeper? Perhaps, just perhaps, the stones themselves are in dhikr, remembrance of God. As the Quran says, "And there is not a thing except that it exalts Allah by His praise, but you do not understand their way of exalting Him." Surah Al-Isra 17:44. So maybe the marble isn't just expensive. Maybe it's alive with purpose. And maybe when you step onto it, you're not just walking, you're joining a chorus of submission. A history written in stone, marble in Islamic architecture. The use of marble in Islam is not new. In fact, it goes back over 1,000 years. From the palaces of Andalusia to the mosques of Istanbul to the domes of Isfahan, marble has always been a symbol of sacred permanence. In the time of the Prophet ﷺ, the original Masjid an-Nabawi was built with palm trunks and mud bricks, simplicity reflecting its time. But even then, there was an idea. Beauty and humility are not opposites. They are two hands of the same worship. As Islamic civilization expanded, so did its architectural language. The best materials were used for mihrabs, minbars, domes and courtyards, graves of saints and scholars. And now, in the modern age, the marble in Mecca and Medina is simply the latest chapter in that sacred design lineage. Symbolism. Why white? Let's talk about color psychology and the deep symbolism of white in Islam. White represents purity, unity, humility. The afterlife, kafan, the burial shroud, is white. The ihram of Hajj, the ultimate equalizer. So when the floor of Masjid al-Haram is white, it's not just a design choice, it's a message. Here, everyone is equal. Here, everyone is clean. Here, no ego survives. Walking barefoot on white marble in ihram clothing, it's the closest thing to walking into Jannah, paradise, that many will ever feel on earth. Climate change. Can the marble survive? Let's shift gears for a moment into the future. Temperatures in the Arabian Peninsula are rising. The environment is becoming more unpredictable. So the Saudi authorities are asking hard questions. How can this marble continue to stay cool in 50 to 60 degrees Celsius plus heat? What if quarry sources begin to deplete? Can artificial marble match the performance? How can we reduce the carbon footprint of transporting this marble globally? And the answers? They're building the future, quietly, smartly, spiritually. Marble meets modern tech. AI-powered thermal sensors are now embedded under key zones to monitor temperature in real time. Nano-coating technology is being tested to make future marble even more heat-resistant. Solar reflective additives are being explored to maintain surface coolness without needing massive underground cooling energy. This is not just preservation. This is faith meeting the future. The future is sacred. what's next for the marble of the Haramain? We are approaching an era where pilgrims will walk across intelligently cooled marble floors monitored by machine learning systems. Every marble tile will be digitally tracked, able to predict wear before it happens. AI will help choose which type of stone performs better based on real-time climate models. But despite all this tech, one thing will remain: the spiritual power of walking barefoot on sacred white marble, surrounded by people from every nation, speaking every language, yet united in one word: Allahu Akbar. The story of the marble in the two holy mosques is not just about cost, not just about material, not even about architecture. It's about a philosophy that God deserves the best, and so do those who worship Him. You've now seen the rarest marbles on earth, the science of staying cool in hellish heat, the spiritual reasons behind pure white stone, the royal level maintenance no other site receives, and the technology of the future being fused with the most ancient pilgrimage on earth.
Conclusion: a floor like no other, where luxury bows to spirituality. So now we ask the question again: why is the most expensive marble in the world used beneath the feet of barefoot pilgrims? Because in Islam, worship isn't about luxury. It's about devotion, sacrifice, and sacred excellence. The two greatest mosques on earth, Masjid al-Haram and Masjid an-Nabawi, don't use Thasos, Bianco Sevec, Carrara, or Rushita marble to show off. They use it to say this: when you walk to God, we will lay the best of this earth beneath your feet. Where kings walk on red carpets, the humble walk on white marble, kissed by sun, cooled by secrets, and blessed by prayers. It's not just stone. It's not just flooring. It's not just expensive. It's sacred ground engineered with divine intention, where every tile carries the weight of 1 billion hearts and the hope of every soul who has ever whispered, Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. You can't buy this experience. You can't replicate it in Dubai. You can't engineer it in Paris. You can't fake it on Instagram. Because this isn't a design. It's a revelation etched in marble. So the next time you see someone walking around the Kaaba, remember, under their feet is not just the rarest marble on earth. It's history, faith, architecture, sacrifice, and God's welcome mat all in one. Now tell me, what other place on earth dares to spend hundreds of millions not to show off, but to serve? Only in the house of God. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the untold secrets of sacred spaces, Islamic architecture, and the divine details that most people never see, but your soul always remembers.